I'm going to jump to what I think will probably be the most surprising and what got us the most views ever on this channel. We're going to go talk about Oklahoma. Maybe we'll put them in our title and get more clicks. Oklahoma, Brent Venables, new coach. What was his record? He was 0-5 in last. I don't remember what the record was last year.
In one-score games, I think they went 6-6.
That sounds about right. I was going to say like 8-4. So, yeah, 6-6 checks out. This is his second year, defensive-minded coach. I don't know. I feel like there was so much turmoil last year with Lincoln Riley leaving, then bringing Brent Venables in. Yes, I don't like it because, again, defensive-minded coach. But
they went 6-7 if you include the bowl game loss. Yeah, they were 0-5 in one-score games. You might see some improvement there. For a defensive-minded head coach, their defense was just awful. They allowed 6 yards
I'm remembering of
per
that, yeah.
snap in conference play. The Sooners should rebound back into the top 25. Venables hit the portal hard to help the defense, and in the second year under this staff, the group should grow and improvement. Here, Marvin Mims departed last offseason. Jeff Lebby, who was under Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss and then came on over to Oklahoma, is great. They have Dylan Gabriel and Gavin Schock and Javante Barnes leading the offense. But here's the thing. Like you said, it's a defensive-minded head coach in an offensive league, in an offensive conference, leading Oklahoma. And Oklahoma hasn't really, they had great, so Bob Stoops was awesome, won the Natty. Then there was a whole lot of nothing under Bob Stoops. Mm-hmm. Then he hired Lincoln Riley, and it was a whole bunch of success. And then Lincoln Riley had a whole bunch of success, but no national championships to follow. So I'm not buying the Brent Venables hype. I'm really not. He'll improve the defense, which Oklahoma hasn't had a good defense since probably 1998. Or actually, first losing season since 98. So since they won the Natty in 2000. But I'm not an Oklahoma believer.
So the 2023 recruiting class, they ranked 6th. Above, funny enough, now most of these were probably Lincoln Riley recruits, above USC. And I'm curious, I want to look at their transfer for this year, which is 2023 or 2024. 2023, they rank 8th according to 24/7 Sports.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you that more information, like you were saying. They really brought in a lot of people.
But also, Oklahoma, their boosters aren't going to be forgiving either.
I mean,
if they go 7-6 this year, or 8-4. You're heading into SEC play with no momentum. Because 8-4 in the Big 12 is 5-7 in the SEC.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, in order for the boosters to be happy with Brent Venables going into SEC play, you have to be going 9-3, 10-2. You have
100%. I think it's fair to say his seat is a little warm. While I don't think it's necessarily hot, I think it's a little warm.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a shame. I think every head coach should at least get 3 seasons without question. It's 3 seasons without gauging temperature of seats. Then after that, then you can start turning up the heat a little bit. But, I mean, he's not going to get it. Go through their schedule, and I'll show you.
Arkansas State.
And that's a win, obviously.
SMU. Both those games are at home.
Yeah, win. Okay, they're 2-0 just like last year.
At Tulsa.
Okay, that's another win.
At Cincinnati.
Here we go. At Cincinnati.
Yeah,
that's a win.
Post Luke Fickell. Yeah, no,
post Luke.
They're not. They're not doing.
They're 4-0, and they were and I think they were 6-0 last year, or they were 4-0. They started hot.
Luke Fickell went to Wisconsin, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I forget who went to Nebraska, who went to Wisconsin. They confuse me.
And we'll get to Cincinnati and their new head coach.
They're Iowa State.
Iowa State, that's a loss. They're
Texas.
at Iowa State or home?
They are home against Texas.
No,
I mean, home against Iowa State. They're not home against Texas.
Okay, well, Iowa State's in October, so that's a loss. Anyway,
They're September, but that's okay. It's October. The Cotton Bowl in Dallas.
That's what I already said. It was a loss.
Yep.
When I did Texas.
They're home against UCF.
Home against UCF. Oh, I'll give them a win.
That's idle, by the way. So that's
Okay.
a bye week after bye week. At Kansas.
I forget what I said for Kansas for that. I think I said loss. So yeah, that's loss.
Bedlam on November 4th, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State.
At Oklahoma State, that's a loss.
They are home against West Virginia.
I think that's a win. Well, I'm not too high on West Virginia. However, they'll probably end up winning the whole thing.
Their last three are against three-letter schools. You have WVU, you have BYU, and you have TCU.
Okay, so they're
WVU. You already said is a win.
Yeah,
and then they're at BYU.
That's a loss.
And then they're home against TCU.
I think that's a win. So that's 7-5.
Yeah, TCU lost all three. Yeah, we're gonna go over them. Okay, 7-5. That's nice of you, I think.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm gonna put them at 6-6. Like that's the type of team that they seem like. I honestly, and if they go 6-6, he's out of his job. There's no way that someone doesn't yell at somebody and go, "We're gonna take a 6-6, two back-to-back 6-6 coach into the SEC."
Well, I just don't understand how people are rating Oklahoma so high. They're rating on brand alone.
Yeah, that's why. They're rating on Lincoln Riley's people who didn't decommit from Oklahoma when he recruited them. They're 4 5-star recruits that they brought in and a good transfer portal. And they're seeing that and going, yeah, materials equal quality. When that's not the case. They got to put the coaches together, and the coaches actually have to be able to do what they need to do.
Venables is an awesome defensive coordinator. He's the perfect defensive coordinator because he's 100%. High energy. He calls the right plays. He's very aggressive.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to go with the vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you got to go back to 1970, sit around the campfire, pass around a J, and mellow the vibe. And Venables and Oklahoma especially, just doesn't fit my vibe. And something's off there, and I think they're 7-5.
We'll see if he's right. We'll see if he's